Right, folks, welcome back. It's nice to have you with us. We'll keep taking a look at what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. We've, of course, got results across the various leagues and regions. We're going to come to Super League B in a second, but in fact, let's quickly take a look at Super League B results now, and then we'll ask our experts in the panel to make comment. Kylemore with a draw against Hamlets. Belhar with a win over Vineyards. Primrose 43-32 over Hamatiers. NTK took a 1-point loss against Collegians. And then, of course, Hands and Hearts and Belleville with a win for Hands and Hearts. Renzo, just some of the results there. Interesting results over the weekend.
I think, the biggest one for me was the Hands and Hearts Belleville game. Hands and Hearts didn't have a great start to the season so far, and taking Belleville as such a big win, that's actually a very good win for them.
Hamadiers and Primrose, Alistair, you spoke about it before, also a big result?
Big result for Primrose, that's a derby.
Yeah.
I think I was at the game, Primrose played really well.
Yeah.
I think Hamadiers left it for a bit too late. But the one that stands out for me is Collegians.
Against NTK, there we go. I was waiting to see all for the call, the Collegians, Lentigere. I saw the guys on social media over the weekend.
Yeah.
And a big shout out to everyone from Collegians for tagging us in your social meia. By the way, it's a great way to get on the show, guys. Is tag Cape Rugby TV. It's a no-brainer. But what a game to go down by 1 point to NTK and home ground.
Home ground. But Collegians are lying low in the league in the sense of they're just laying under the radar.
Yeah.
But they're playing really good rugby.
Yeah.
And people are not really taking note of what's happening there.
Silent assassins.
They 4 games out of 5.
Yeah.
That's a really good start to the season for them. And hopefully they can continue building on it.
Let's take a look here, folks. Your results in Super League C. Strand, 26-12 over Langa. Violets, 33-17 over Eersterrivier. Busy Bees went down to Gardens, 29-17. And Rangers with a win over Strand United, 46-22. And Callies with a 1-point win over Peniel Villages. Folks, this league is looking to me like a sneaky under-the-radar league. There are some teams here that I think are also not getting necessarily the kind of attention that they deserve. Violets is getting stronger and stronger here, guys. I think Ashik's at Violets. Am I right? He's come across from SK to Violets.
Ashik and Zaire Saban.
Yep. So Violets doing really well here to come out against the Reavers with that win. But Callies with a 1-point win over Peniel Villages, also bouncing back here.
Yeah, I think that's Kelly's second win now of the season.
Yeah.
But Peniel, I think they're mid-table, just under the top 6. Yeah.
And Renzo, Rangers seems to have a fresh injection here. Something is happening there. We've had the guys from Rangers on the show. I know we've got their new jersey in place as well now. You've sent us the jersey. But Rangers with a big win there over Strand United.
Yeah, funny enough, I actually drove past that game and I said, like, who are they playing against? And I saw the white and red. So I said, that must be Strand United. And the field was full. It was packed around the field. Yeah. For them taking that 46-22 win, it's a good win. And I think they have a good start to the season so far.
Yeah.
All right, folks, this past weekend, it was Brackenfell women up against Van der Stel women. They had home ground advantage. And that played a bit of a precursor, almost like a curtain raiser, to one of the big games, Brackenfell, Van der Stel. Let's take a look. I'm just seeing lots of offloads there.
Yeah. Oh, look, good attacking fray from VDE, but there's a lot of experience there that's allowing that to happen. But as we said earlier, you make a mistake in the A-League and teams pounce on it. And that was the try before halftime. Keeps the score quite tight, within 6 points for Brackenfell.
All right, folks, let's take a look. I must say, I feel like, again, the score's not doing justice to the game itself, but let's take a look at the second half. This is Brackenfell for Stel. For Stel leading 20 points to 7 in the first half. All right, there we go, folks. Final result. Van der Stel 32 points to 14 over Brackenfell. Renzel, you're seeing some old names there, old faces, familiar players?
Yeah, no, there's quite a few in the Van der Stel team that I know. Like obviously the previous captain of Hands and Hearts, Alistair Frazenberg. But just looking at the game, I think for Brackenfell, keeping Van der Stel to a close score like that, not running away with the game, I think that's good for them coming into the season.
Your thoughts, Alistair?
Look, I think Brackenfell could have stayed better in the fight, home ground advantage.
Yeah.
But making mistakes at the wrong time against a team like Van der Stel who has quality, they're going to pounce on that.
Yeah, quite incredible what Van der Stel has managed to do in the last few years. I'm not sure where they were 3 years ago, and overnight are a star team.
Yeah,
is that from years of development? Or did they bring these players all through the ranks over the years? Local schools feeding the system?
Look, to climb the leagues so quickly and to stay in the A-League as an achievement. How they done it, I don't know. I don't want to dig into, but yeah.
Right, folks, we'll be back after the break. Don't go away. We're going to be taking a look at False Bay and St. George's. That's coming up next. And we've still got Helderberg and Tygerberg. Back in a sec.